On this road.
So we're going to start today. Before we've solved some quadratics on the last test where we factored them and we set each piece to 0, right? Remember? Okay. So today we're going to do some solving that does not involve factoring, but we're just going to SAD map our way out, okay? And we talked about this a lot when we did our review section, so this should be a pretty easy lesson for you. The difference now is we've got some exponents in there, some exponents of 2. So the first thing I need to ask you is, how do you get rid of an exponent of 2? So I'm talking about opposite operations here. You're absolutely right, square root. When we talk about opposite operations and things that cancel, we got addition and subtraction. Multiplication and what? Division. And today we're adding exponent of 2, and Brady said square root, and he's absolutely right. So to get rid of that exponent of 2 there, I would have to take the square root on both sides. Right? This cancels. It always cancels. They just go away. So here, now I have x equals the square root of 24. But I'll have to now apply what I did yesterday and simplify my square root. How do you simplify that? Find, using this list, find the biggest one you can divide 24 by. What is it? 4. 4 and what? 6. So I got 4 and 6. The square root of 4 is 2. Now it is solved for x. Okay? Okay? But of course it's going to get a little more complicated than that. So remember the rule. If you see x written only one time, always SAD map your way out of it. Okay? All right, so for example, 5x squared equals 80. Solve it for x. We all agree you only see x written one time?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start SAD mapping our way out of it to get x by itself. So do you see any addition or subtraction?
No.
No addition, subtraction. How about multiplication, division?
Yes.
Yes. That 5 is being multiplied. Do we all agree?
Always.
So the opposite of multiplication is division. So to get rid of it, we do what? Divide by 5.
On each side?
On each side. You do it to one side, you got to do it to the other. All right, so
Wouldn't that be different since it's 5 squared?
the squared's only hooked to the x in this one.
Alright, but when you times 5 times 1, that gives you 5. And then 5 squared.
No. Well, you would have to square it first and then multiply by 5. This, what you're doing, you're reading it like this, and that's different. If you follow through this and remember to do parentheses last, you'll get it right every time. All right, so this is gone. I've got x squared equals, what, 16? Thank you. Now what? How do I get rid of the squared? That's exactly right, the radical. Okay? This is gone. So x equals, what's the square root of 16? 4, and I need to do plus or minus because I did take a radical.
Alright, so you would put 4 and then another 4.
No. If it's a perfect square, just write what it equals.
Oh.
How about, well, that was nice.
You don't go away.
No, because okay. So remember, I only see one x, so I'm going to do SAD map. Add 5. That's gone. I got 3x squared equals
54.
54. Then you're absolutely right, whoever's saying it. That's the addition, subtraction, now multiplication, division. So I divide by 3. 27. No.
18.
Thank you.
That's right.
I'm proud of you, but that's right.
Now what? Radical. This is gone. That's an 18. Absolutely, that's what I was going to say. Remember your last step? You always simplify your radicals when you're done. So somebody said 9 and 2. Exactly. Don't forget that plus minus either. Plus or minus 3 square root of 2.
Hey, what if you
Half
got
credit,
two-
because that's
what if-
half the answers.
What if I got 2 and square root of 2? That don't matter. Same thing,
No, that's not the same thing.
right? That's
Yeah, make sure your 3's on the outside. Say it again. I don't know. How about this one?
Oh,
Ah,
I was saying, well, divide by 2.
When you distribute.
hold on.
We'll do this.
How many x's do you see? 1. If there's only 1, I can SAD map it every time. Remember, even though there is addition or subtraction, it's inside parentheses, and parentheses is last. So what do I do first here? Divide it by 2.
Hold up.
Okay, now that the 2 is gone, I have x minus 3 squared equals 25. Does that make sense? Okay, now what? What's next? Parentheses is last. I didn't have any addition, subtraction, so now multiplication, division, I did that. What comes next?
You got
Exponent. How do you get rid of it? Square root. Absolutely. No. Why? What's the square root of 25? Because I took a radical, I want to put the plus or minus in front of the 5. Okay? Understand that this means x minus 3 could equal 5, or x minus 3 could equal negative 5. So when I now isolate the x, what do I move? The 3. You can solve it all the way out, or you can leave it as 3 plus or minus 5. I would like for you to understand that that means x could be 3 plus 5, or x could be 3 minus 5.
You got me all.
Okay, where? Show me where. Tell me where you got lost.
One, how do you not have addition and subtraction?
Outside of parentheses.
First, and then X.
Okay, parentheses, that's if you're going regular, if you're simplifying. When you solve, you have to switch it around. So we're backwards PEMDAS, which is SAD map.
Well, why is X not counting in this? That's my question.
We mean x counting in
X
this.
counts as 1, so why would it be X minus 3? Be negative 2.
Why you say
Negative
x counts as
2
1?
is second power, and 2 times negative 4.
Why are you plugging something in for x?
Because X is 1.
Where is x1?
X is 1. That's
I think you're talking about the coefficient in front?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's 1 times x.
No, it's 1x. X stand, oh my God, you look like such a horrible.
Look, it's the coefficient in front multiplies to that.
Alright, you can do what you got.
No, no, no. Did we just do this one? Yes, we did. Never mind. Don't do this one. Let's do a different one. Let's do a harder one. No decimals. No decimals. So you got to think about what we talked about yesterday and this morning. What do we do first?
How about 3?
Divide by 3, right?
Yeah. We're gonna go to 40 though.
3 does not go into 40. So no decimals. I'm going to leave it written just like that. I'm going to leave it as 40 over 3. Oh.
Square root it.
Okay, square root it. Now, this is starting to look like what we did last night when we had a fraction over with a radical over the whole fraction. So let's digress over here to the side because every time we do a radical, we need to make sure we simplify it. How do I simplify the square root of 40 over 3?
4 times 10.
Up top, you're absolutely right. So 4 times 10, and on the bottom, I got square root of 3.
Yeah.
Okay? So square root of 4 is 2. Is it simplified now?
No.
Why?
To the bottom.
It's a radical in the bottom, right? Can't have a radical in the bottom.
Square root of 3.
Times it by square root of 3.
230
230.
over 3.
Look at you, Bryce. So now I've got, this is gone.
X minus 3 equals.
Put the plus or minus in front. Just because it looks like a terrible fraction doesn't mean it really is.
You gotta add 2 to each side.
I gotta add 2 to each side. Now, I don't know about you. That's gonna be pretty hard to add a 2 to that. So if you can't do it, write it. In other words, come over here and say 2 plus or minus 2 root 30 over 3. That is a perfectly acceptable answer.
Alright, so that's not an answer.
Sure it
Why
is.
did you not put 4?
Where did you see 4?
Plus, you talking about
Yeah, I got this one.
You think? Let's try. Let's try. Ready?
Not this one.
This one's actually not as hard as the last one.
My head is.
From this,
no, this ain't short.
it's probably whatever that is you got on top of your head that's pulling your hair tight. It's probably making your head hurt.
Bro.
Huh? Yeah, if you have your hair tight for a while, it gives you a headache.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with these things.
No. All right, what do you do first?
1/3.
Okay, I don't want to divide by...
By 1/3.
Not by 1/3. If you times it by 3, you gotta flip it. Okay? Don't divide by a fraction. Multiply by the flip. So instead, exactly, big word, reciprocal. This is gone.
33 over 1.
I'm lost.
Never divide by a fraction. Always multiply by the flip.
Well, why the heck we doing that with this one, not the other one?
It wasn't a fraction in the other one like that.
1/3, right?
We weren't getting rid of the fraction in the other one. This one we're getting rid of the fraction.
You make that
Oh my gosh. What do I do now?
You do
Square root it.
hard.
33. Can I divide 33 by any of these numbers?
11. No.
That,
Yeah.
okay, any of these numbers? No. So I leave it, but I need to put that plus or minus in the front. Now what?
Put.
Add 4. Can you add 4 to the square root of 33?
Always.
No.
No.
You put it
If
in
you
front of
can't
it.
do it, write it.
I added it, it looked just fine.
4 plus her square root of 33.
That's just that looks
And
right.
it's done. Then you, oh my gosh.
You added it.